Hello everyone, this is Luca, Crystal Moon Healing. Today I have an interesting video I wanted to make and it's named Healers and Gurus Misconceptions. It's gonna be a video where there's gonna be loads of triggers, so just letting you all know that if this triggers you in any way, please don't shoot the messenger, but there's a lot of information that I would like to share, mostly because a lot of people have got what I feel are probably misconceptions about healers and gurus, and I'd like to share my truth on this. Obviously, I welcome any feedback, and like I said, this is my truth. So. I've done a little bit of homework, so I've written up few notes that I wanted to read through, but I just read through the points that I wanted to share today. The first is that healers never get sick. That's number one. Then if they do get sick, they're not very good healers. That's point number two. Point number three, gurus are always right and know best. Spiritual people got it all figured out. That's point number three. Then number four, this is going to be very controversial, but it needs to be said, that you need to be vegan or have a very different diet from most people to be spiritual. That's going to be quite a trigger for many people. And last one, that healers should give healing for free. So what I do is I've read them out, and now I'm just gonna go through one by one and just share my my view and my truth and my experience on each one of these, and then let people make up their mind on how they feel about these. So the first one is that healers never get sick. Unfortunately, I'd like to say that was true, but we most of the time we drink the same water as everyone. We have the same food. We breathe the same air, and unfortunately, a lot of these things do have within them not necessarily the best thing for our body. So it is, as much as we would like that to be true, everyone does to some extent get unwell from time to time, and sometimes some of the biggest transformations and the most amazing healers have been put on that path through the things that they've experienced, like being unwell. They've had to really learn and trust and work through all of the issues that they found, and that made them so much stronger, and so they were able to overcome these challenges and then teach other people how to overcome these challenges themselves, so empower others. So from the higher point of view, from a multidimensional point of view, was that illness that they've overcome, but well, obviously in that moment is very difficult to navigate, and we need to have compassion and hold healing and love for anyone who is struggling. But if they then use that to turn that around and help other people, then from a higher perspective, they turn that into a positive. So healers do get sick. It is true that a healer generally working with themselves and the tools that they've developed and discovered, they recover quicker. They can get better sooner because they can do self-healing. They know some of the things that will help them heal, so they will genuinely get most likely less sick or recover quicker. So that's point number one. If they do get sick, then they're not very good healers. And I feel this is really unfair, because sometimes, we need to understand, as I was saying earlier, that we're all here at the same time and we're all experiencing similar things. And it's also true that when a healer does a lot of work on people, especially if they're not shielding themselves, they do pick up from other people, because they might not be transmuting what they're clearing in properly. So they become the ones that take on emotional baggage, emotional things, clearing a negative energy. They might take that on, and then consequently they have to work much harder on themselves if they're not shielding properly, and they might get sick themselves. So we shouldn't it doesn't make them less gifted, less loving, less able. I think we just have to, support them in that respect. And I think about people that do reflexology, because when they're doing work on the feet, generally a lot of the clearing exits from, especially if you're doing Reiki, you'll be told this, that you would imagine the healing coming from, the head and flowing through the body. And generally the feet is one of those places where it all gets transmuted out. And that's why grounding bare feet on Mother Earth is so powerful, because it helps to do that, to bring that out. So when a reflexologist is doing healing on the feet, if they're not shielding and themselves, all of that will just come out. And it's not unusual to feel stomach pains and stuff like that. Doesn't mean that the healer is not a good healer. It just means that they probably need to work on that shielding a bit more. Okay, so that's point 1 and 2. Doing great if you're still there. Gurus are always right and know best. Spiritual people got it all figured out. I always see, I often see people saying, this spiritual person, this psychic I know said this, that person said that, so, it must be true if they said it. Well, I feel, we need to have discernment here, because it's easy for people to say things, and then if it doesn't happen, then we could go in all sorts of spins. We could but then question everything. But really, no matter what people say, and that I teach this to even my children. Even if I tell you something, you have to always work with yourself to understand, if you resonate with it. The best way to tell that is listening to your heart. So going in a quiet space, maybe use a visualization. I like to use a visualization of like crystals. If they light up, for me, that's a positive thing. It resonates with me. If they don't light up, then maybe not. But whatever works for you, so that you go back on yourself, within what is what is true and what is not, maybe not in your reality, not in your timeline. But just to say that just because someone is spiritual, it doesn't mean that they always know everything, and it doesn't mean that they always got it figured out. Because we all, as I was saying at the beginning with never getting sick, equally everyone at this moment in time, especially people who have taken on a spiritual journey, have got to work through things themselves. And in doing that, they will have their own challenges. They will be pushed and tested, and therefore they will have things that they need to figure out themselves. Yes, the more work we do on ourselves, the easier and quicker it would be to overcome these situations and figure things out. But nonetheless, all of us will have to some extent, face challenges. And sometimes, we will struggle, and that's absolutely normal. And we need to be kind and loving with ourselves. We shouldn't put too much pressure on ourselves, and we should just, be grateful and hold compassion for ourselves. And in some cases, forgive ourselves if we don't get it right straight away. It's okay. We're here also to learn. Okay, so that one, yeah, so I say that's probably okay for that one. So moving on to the next one, which I feel is a big one. Need to be vegan to be spiritual, or at least have a different diet. And I would say that sharing my experience, I've given up things like meat years ago, and I feel that I wouldn't want to go back to that. The reason for that is the energy that it holds, but it's not to say that that's right for everyone. We should all, again, as I was saying earlier, use discernment, work with ourselves, work with your body. What does your body need? It might be that your body needs that, even if it's a little bit. And sometimes the guilt is, worse than what you would get if if you were to ingest some of those things, that the energy that is within that. But at no point we should be feeling that we need to force things on other people. They need to. Everyone should be entitled to make their choices and work how they feel is best for them. And all we can do is support other people. What is right for me might not be right for someone else. I know that my body at this moment in time, there are things that it needs, but I am on a journey myself, and I'm working through the things I need to work through. I've seen a lot of people making big changes all at once, and they struggle. They really struggle. So I would say, in my experience, certainly with me, it has worked best to replace things a little bit at a time. See how you feel. Work with your body, but do it in a way that is with ease and grace. Not putting too much pressure on yourself, or feel that you have to comply with something that people say. It is true that certain things hold energies that are not great, and in the future, we wouldn't be doing the same things we're doing now, certainly to animals. But we all need to hold love for people, especially if they are on their own journey. So not being judgmental would be amazing. I often go out and people ask me why I do what I do, and I'm honest with them, but I don't expect them to do what I'm doing. It's up to them what they do. I've seen people change just by me sharing my truth without telling them what to do. That's far more powerful, I feel, to to show them what you feel is right, compared to telling them what we feel is right. And there's an amazing book that I would really recommend called Lessons from Leaving Lemuria from Magenta Pixie. And it talks a lot about this. It's absolutely fantastic. But I would say that, it's a journey that is different from everyone. There is not a rule for everyone. We're all different, navigating this journey in separate ways. Okay. And last, healers should give healing for free. I like most healers, we all do things for free because we feel that this is a gift that should be shared. And in actual fact, this isn't the energy, especially when we're channeling energy that we're sending to other people. This is the healing energy that comes from the universe and the beautiful beings that are assisting us in doing what we need to do. So we are a conductor of this energy, and through our intention and focus and dedication and open heart and love, we really do bring this energy through. And whilst that's not our energy in some respect, although we're all one in truth, so we still have bills to pay, food to buy, and need to survive. Therefore, if someone is called to do this profession, like on a daily basis, and they can do it, then they do deserve to be supported. Yes, the universe always brings balance. Always bring balance in one way or another. I've done it many times where I've done healing for people, but I've received something back, like maybe for me it was training or things, you know, that they, you know, gifts that they felt they will give, and but in some cases I don't expect anything, and I know that we all do things to help, and sometimes we've got things to pay. Therefore, if we choose to do this as a profession, we should be supported, and people shouldn't feel that they have to always do something for free or expect you know, healers to always do something for them. But in many cases, healers do a lot of things for free. But yes, that will be their choice if they do so. Okay, so I think those are the things I wanted to mention, but just to go through a couple of things really to help, I would say get to know yourself. So know yourself. Discernment is really, really important, and connecting with our body, you know, connecting with our body, because all the truth can be found within. All truths can be found within. There is everyone has their own experience, but the truth can be always found within, and every healer should ultimately send you back to yourself to work through things. They'll support you, but shouldn't do it for you. They should support you and be there for you, but always send you back to yourself. Okay, and I think that's all for today. If there is anything that you want to ask or any comments, if you you know, always welcome to put comments on this video. And as always, sending love and light to everyone. Thank you so much for listening, and have a beautiful day. Bye.